what's going on? So, everything's not right. It's wrong. You see, the meter is doing what the meter is doing. But the show must go on. Here's what it did. We're going to continue to build. We're going to edit around these inconsistencies. So, welcome to the channel. This is JB Quinnen. Let's see. Haven't went live in a while. See if I can find my playlist. Let's see. Nope. Okay. What I want to talk about today. Today, what I want to talk about is modern dating. Everybody's talking about modern dating and demands and expectations. And honestly, a lot of expectations are just unrealistic, and I don't know. Let's get to it. So, specifically, we are talking about modern dating contradictions, standards, power, and the economics of relationships. Modern dating often reveals a contradiction that many people quietly notice but rarely articulate. Some women claim that they want kindness, loyalty, emotional maturity, and stability. Yet many still prioritize status, wealth, excitement, and social prestige over those same traits that when choosing a partner. In practice, this can create an impression that a wealthy, flawed man is often given more grace than an average earning, good man who expects reciprocity and accountability. For many men, this becomes frustrating because the standards can feel inconsistent. A dependable man with average income can be judged as not enough, while financially successful man with questionable behavior is sometimes viewed as worth the challenge, so long as he provides comfort, lifestyle, or influence. Whether fair or not, the perception shapes how many men interpret the modern dating market. Well, let's take a look. Let's take a look at this video.
I came out as bisexual last year, and since then, I have been dating women. And what I found very fascinating is that the more I date women, the more I find myself understanding heterosexual men. Let me explain. Exhibit A. I was on a first date with a girl who asked me out, by the way, this is relevant, because when the check came, she never once made a move to pay. Not even.
Welcome to the club. Welcome to the club. It's a thing. Nobody minds, and this is the thing that women have to understand. It's not that men are against dating and spending money to get to know a person, but how many first dates as a man do you go on a year before you're like, I'm gonna set it out? If you spend $200 per first date, you go on five first dates in a year. That's $1,000. So if a man has went on five dates and got no potential, we're talking about him wasting thousands of dollars. That's it might not be a big deal to women, but it is a big deal to men. Dating is it costs nothing to women, so it costs nothing. Dating is just an experience. It's an opportunity to sit down. For men, it's like an investment. Do I want to go sit down and spend $200 to ask questions that I could figure out by asking on the phone? And then it's like women start gatekeeping, getting to know them, so it just creates a whole nother scenario.
Like the fake, let me reach for my purse move. And though I don't mind paying on a date, part of me felt like, the offer would have been nice. I was also a little taken aback that she didn't even say thank you. And I never heard from her again. It really made me feel like she just asked me out so she could have a free dinner. And the moment I thought that, I was like, oh my God, I sound like all of my guy friends right now.
Exactly. You know, see, Another tension appears in conversations around femininity, cooperation, and traditional relationship roles. Some people argue that the man must significantly out earn the woman before she could feel comfortable being supportive, cooperative, or allowing him to lead in certain areas of the relationship. Yet, even when a man reaches that financial threshold, there is often no guarantees of shared sacrifice, emotional support, or investment into the relationship itself. I wonder what was this woman's experiences with that.
And my argument against why guys should pay for dates has always been like, look, girls take hours to get ready. Our investment is looking really nice for you. Makeup, clothes, that costs money too. But we were both girls in this situation. We both took hours to get ready, so I definitely felt slighted. Exhibit B. On another date, I went back to a girl's house and I ended up making friends with her cat. That's not a pun. I'm talking about her literal, actual animal. And she said, wow, my cat never likes anyone. I better go out and buy a wedding dress. And again, I felt like I got some serious perspective. I have been guilty of making these kinds of jokes on dates with men. I never really thought anything of it. I was just being silly. But then when I was on the receiving end of it, I suddenly understood the panic. And finally, Exhibit C. One girl invited me back into her house, and her specific words were, "Do you want to come in and make out?" Obviously, I'm like, yeah, you're really pretty. I want to press my face to yours. But then when we got there, we both just sat on the couch, and she talked till like 3 a.m. And I was like,
That is wild. That's wild. I don't know what to say. Instead, the arrangement can become one sided. The man is expected to provide, perform, to evaluate the couple's lifestyle, while the woman's own time, energy, and resources remain primarily reserved for her personal ambitions. There is nothing wrong with career focus on or independence, but problems arise when partnership expectations are unequal. If, excuse me, if one person's resources are considered communal while the other person's resources are treated as private, resentment often follows. This is where many men see an oxymoron. They are told to be generous, emotionally available, financially ambitious, and endlessly understanding, while also being criticized for wanting appreciation, loyalty, or accountability in return. If they question the imbalance, they may be labeled insecure, controlling, or narcissistic. It's crazy. It's almost like projecting, but when you actually break down what's fundamentally happening outside of the constructs of what today's society says men and women should do, it doesn't really seem like um, a fair exchange, in my opinion.
"Oh, girl, I gotta wake up at like 6 a.m. I was told there would be kisses here. There are no kisses." And like, look, I don't wanna sound like an asshole. Like, I don't mind talking. I love talking. But she could have said, do you wanna come in and just talk? And I would have had totally different expectations for the evening. You know, finally I started falling asleep and I was like, hey, I gotta go. And I gave her one kiss and left. And I felt sad that the amount of kisses promised did not equal the amount of
Did you feel led on?
kisses delivered. And once again, I felt like a dude who was upset that I did not receive the expected physical kisses I was promised. And I wanted to talk about this because I felt like this has really been expanding my perspective when it comes to dating. I finally understand a lot of the complaints my male friends have about dating that I admit I would usually dismiss. But now I really get it when they say, dating is just so expensive, man.
Sometimes I feel like a girl doesn't even like me for me. She just wants, like, a boyfriend.
I wish it were more socially expected to go Dutch on the first few dates, but you're like a jerk if you even suggest it. And
I like her. She's funny.
any experience that expands your compassion and understanding is one that I think is worthy of sharing. So what about you? Have you had any experiences that have shifted your viewpoint dramatically? Let me know. I'm Anna Akana, and thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. Squarespace has...
Okay. She kind of is seconding some of the things that as gentlemen go through. Some of the things that we go through. says, of course, not all women think this way, and not all men approach relationships fairly either. But the broader frustration points to a real issue. Too many modern relationships are negotiated through leverage rather than love, excuse me. Income becomes power, attention becomes currency, and commitment becomes conditional. Healthy relationships are rarely built on status games. They're built on mutual respect, shared effort, honesty, and a willingness of both parties to contribute in a meaningful way. When one side expects premium benefits while offering selective partnership, the relationship becomes transactional rather than genuine. Dating, in a nutshell, today may not be about men versus women. It may be about unrealistic expectations versus reality. Until both sides value balance over bargaining power, disappointment will remain common. Um, I definitely agree with that. Um, Again, I apologize about this mark that keeps coming in. We're still working on this, and thank you for tuning in to the JB Quinnan show. See you guys soon.